Hey everyone, it's Sarah and today I am back with part 2 of my winter perfumes video, and I've got 10 more here. I'm gonna jump right in. So I'm gonna start with a perfume that I really only wear in the cold weather because it doesn't perform very well in any other weather. And this is a Gallagher fragrance, and this is called Vanilla Silk. I don't think that this is in their like normal lineup. I picked this up when they like re-released it for a hot second, and then it kind of went back in the vault, so to say. And yeah, so I don't know that this is something that you can get easily, but I love this fragrance. It gets compared to By the Fireplace a lot, but this, it's its own thing completely. Is a little bit similar, yes, in that it's a really vanillic wood fragrance, but this has got the most beautiful like clean white musk note in it, and it's really, really original smelling. It's very unique smelling. It took me, I don't know, it took me a good year or so to really, really appreciate this one for what it was, because I had heard so many comparisons to By the Fireplace. I had to wear this a good like half a dozen times before I really got a good feel for it and really formed some thoughts and opinions on it. And the more I wore it, the less it was smelling at all like By the Fireplace to me. This doesn't have any nuttiness in it. By the Fireplace, it has a very heavy chestnut note in it. This all around is just a much lighter, cleaner smelling perfume. This perfume does have a white amber musk note in it, and it's very, very prominent. And that's mostly what I get, is like the white amber musk and the vanilla with kind of a hint of wood in the background. It's so beautiful. It's stunning in really cold weather. It performs super well in really cold weather. If you try to wear this in warm weather, like forget about it. It's not going to perform at all. But I do absolutely adore this, and I start to look for this as soon as it gets properly cold out. So this is one of my favorite winter fragrances for sure. And really every fragrance that I have from Gallagher for me is a winter perfume. Some of them I will wear in the fall, like Rosé All Day. But it's a heavy, beautiful, like delicious, yummy rose, and they're all just great in the winter time. But anyways, that is Vanilla Silk. Okay, this next one, this is definitely a winter scent for me. I think I wore it a little bit early this year because I was just craving heavier scents earlier this year, but I usually do tend to wait a little bit longer and for it to get a little bit colder for this one. This is a fragrance from Perfumes Wheel, and this is called Suki. Hi, baby. And this is called Suki Essence. My beautiful friend Jacqueline sent this over to me, and I love this. This is kind of like a sweet, spiced, kind of very slightly oudy chai. It's really warm and kind of spiced chai smelling. I usually, and because it smells like a warm spiced chai, I usually layer this over an oil that I have from Sugarworks, which back then it was called Sugarworks Beauty Lab, I believe, and it is called Chai Creme Anglaise. And sadly, you cannot get that oil anymore because that company has really like restructured a ton since I have ordered. But anyways, it is fantastic with this. The oil adds just a hint more sweetness and a little bit of creaminess to this, and I love it. It's one of my favorite winter combinations ever. I try not to even show that oil because you can't get it. If you can find any other kind of like a creamy chai oil though, I think it would work. I'm sure you could find something on Sweet Essentials. I'm sure they've got some kind of a yummy creamy chai. But yeah, this is such a winter scent to me, and I think she sent this to me in the fall/winter time, maybe even just last year, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I love it, and it will always be a winter scent to me. And who doesn't love a pop of bright sunshine yellow in the middle of dark, dreary winter? I love that. The bottle doesn't match the scent at all, but I love this scent inside. So anyways, that is Parfums Wheel Suki Essence. And in that same kind of spiced, stewed fruit, heavy kind of fragrance, I've got the House of Oud, and this is called Dates Delight. And oh, this one is so good. This one has it almost has like a spiced wine smell to it. It's got like a booziness to it. Like if you can imagine stewed fruits or fruits that have been stewed in or mulled in wine. Like a mulled wine. Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's spicy, but sweet. It's got a tartness the way that a fruity fragrance would have, but it's not what I would consider fruity. It's more of like a boozy stewed fruit kind of slash mulled wine kind of fragrance. I love it. This one has only gotten better with age. And yeah, I usually wait until it's pretty cold out to wear this one because it's pretty heavy. It's definitely like a pretty heavy scent. And oh, I love it. I love it so much. So anyways, that is the House of Oud Dates Delight. Performs super well too, especially in cold weather. That one is a monster. You'll get a good 8-10 hours out of it. I've got a kitten on the desk that wants to play, and he's gonna start knocking lipsticks over here in a second. Oh, big boy. Oh, this is the baby. He does not like to be held. Why are your paws wet? Oh Lord, there's no telling why his paws are wet and what he's just gotten into. This is little baby Pistol. He's not so much a baby anymore. He's getting so big. He's so beautiful. Okay, this next one. Oh, this is such a good one, and which is surprising because there are 3 notes in here that I usually typically do not love, but I don't know what Lake and Sky did to make this one so wearable and beautiful, but I love this scent. This is a fragrance from Lake and Sky, and this is called Saffron Dusk. This has got like pepper and saffron and leather in it, and I typically do not love any of those notes. Saffron is fine depending on what fragrance it is, and as long as the saffron isn't too overpowering, which usually it is. This also has rose in it, and sometimes I really do not like a saffron rose combination. I feel like it's been completely overdone, and I really, really dislike leather. Leather is one of my least favorite notes. It's also got pepper in it, and again, I'm not a huge fan of pepper in my fragrance, depending on how it's done. I have fragrances that have pepper in it, and they're fine. As long as the pepper is adding a warmth without adding too much of like an actual pepper note. I don't know how they did it, but this is so wearable and so beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love this. You can smell all of those things, but they're so, I don't know. There's a sweetness in this though that really, like, I don't know, transforms all of those notes into something that I love. It's so good. It's like a saffron rose leather fragrance that has a beautiful, almost candied sweetness to it. It's really, really smooth smelling. It doesn't smell, the leather doesn't smell like a typical leather. Like it doesn't smell like you just got into the interior of an all leather vehicle, or it's not that kind of a leather. I don't know. It's really smooth and sweet and beautiful. I love it. It's warm. It's cozy. I love this. It's really well done. It's not too heavy at all. It's got a beautiful brightness to it. It's got a sweetness to it, and it's gorgeous. I love it. It's perfect for winter. Yeah, I haven't worn this one yet, and I can't wait to wear this because I love it. It's fantastic. I'm very impressed with Lake and Sky fragrances for the most part. Every single one that I've smelled, I love. I think they're so... Sorry, Pistol's back there, and you can see, you can probably see right here, this string light is disappearing because he's pulling it. He's such a baby. But anyways, there he goes. He got bored. Yeah, I've just loved every scent that I've smelled from them, except I think there's like a sandalwood one that I didn't love just because I don't love synthetic sandalwood. But 1111 is one of my ride or dies, like one of my ride or dies. I love it, and I just think all of their fragrances are really beautiful. So anyways, that is Lake and Sky Saffron Dusk. Gorgeous. I don't talk about Lake and Sky enough. I do think they're a little bit pricey for what they are, but I feel like if you are gonna buy Lake and Sky, I know a lot of people would rather have a spray perfume rather than an oil. Oh, here he goes again. There it goes. He's playing. But I would highly recommend just getting the little oil. And I know even the oil is like expensive. I think they're like $48 maybe for the oil. But it's a big oil. I think it's 8 or 10 mil of oil. Very, very concentrated, lasts forever, smells just like the spray perfumes, but performs better. And there's way more value for the money with the oils. Anyways, next we have a patchouli fragrance. I only pull this out in, I'm sorry, I hope that's not too distracting. He's such a baby. This is a patchouli that I will only pull out in the coldest part of winter because it is such an intense patchouli. This could be worn any time of year though. I bet this would be amazing in hot weather. It's heavy though, it's a heavy patchouli. This is patchouli from Reminiscence, and this is one of my favorite patchoulis I think I've ever smelled. This and Behold Patchouli from Gallagher are fantastic. They're both, I would say they're probably my 2 favorite patchoulis of all time. This is a really beautiful patchouli, but it's got, oh my gosh. I don't know if you can see his little paws. Oh, here he goes. I'm so sorry. We're just gonna have to keep going, but he is going to be playing with that string of lights. Yeah, it's like a traditional earthy / medicinal patchouli, but it's so smooth, and it doesn't have chocolate in it, but there's something about it that it has this like chocolatiness to it. It's fantastic. It is so good. Yeah, it's kind of like if you could just imagine the most delicious, decadent, rich chocolate cake that had like patchouli oil in it or something. That's what this smells like. It is phenomenal. I cannot believe that that this perfume is only like $25. You can get this for so inexpensive, and the quality of this is beyond. And this is an eau de toilette as well. This is not even an eau de parfum. It's an eau de toilette, and it is just fantastic. It's so good. I love it. Lasts absolutely forever, and just one of the best patchoulis on the planet in my opinion. I just think it's fantastic. That is Reminiscence Patchouli. I'm gonna be wearing this one very soon. Next is a fragrance from the Different Company. I only wear this in the winter because this is a really intense fragrance. I did not realize like how intense this was until the last couple times I've worn it. This is a fragrance called Magena Sin, and oh, this is so good. This is orange, ginger. Somebody told me what Creme de Marron means. Orchid, heliotrope, tonka, amber, musk, vanilla. It's so good. Oh my gosh, it's so good. This one it's sweet, but it's got almost this dustiness in it. I feel like that's from whatever the nut is, or that it's got some kind of a nut in it. Probably as well as from a little bit of the tonka or whatever, but it's got this, it's kind of like this sweet, dusty fragrance. I know that sounds super weird, but I love it. It's got a real brightness to it from the ginger and the orange in the top. So it's definitely has this really like uplifting brightness to it. And I don't know that I would call this a warm fragrance, but it's definitely like a sweet, kind of kind of starting to get on the side of gourmand, but I wouldn't say it's a gourmand. I don't know, it's good. It's really, really unique smelling. I've never smelled another fragrance quite like Reminiscence. It's really unique. It's really gorgeous. I have tried wearing this in kind of warmer weather, like even in the fall, and it's nauseating to me in the fall. It's got a lot of rich fragrance or rich notes in it, like tonka. I don't know, something about the tonka and the vanilla and the heliotrope. It's too much for me for warmer weather. Oh my gosh, but in the winter it's just fantastic. I love it. So anyways, that is Reminiscence from the different company. I got a sample of that years ago during a Black Friday thing. I got like a little Black Friday sample bundle from Lucky Scent one year. It was when we were living in, not the last rental we were in, and not the house before that, but the rental before that. So it's crazy how many times we've moved. But yeah, and I fell in love with it. It's in that same sample packet I got Zoologist B right when it was released right around that time. And yeah, I fell in love with both of them. I fell in love with Reminiscence and B from that sample pack. And now I'm so happy to say I've got full bottles of both of them. And I am super grateful for that, because back then when I got those samples, I was like, I don't know how I'm ever going to have, how I'm ever going to get full bottles of these, but somehow I did. Okay. Next, I've got, this is the same fragrance, but I've got the real thing, and I've got a clone that is a phenomenal clone if you don't want to pay for the real thing, because it's quite expensive. This is Kilian Back to Black, and this is the most beautiful honeyed tobacco scent. Sweet honey tobacco. It's got a ton of notes in it. It's got a lot. I love it, but I really, really love the Alexandria Fragrances version of Back to Black. This one is called Fade to Black. Oh my gosh, it's so good. The honey note in the Fade to Black is it's so clean smelling. It's such a clean honey. Oh, it's so beautiful. And the honey, I think there's some beeswax in here, honey, cherry, tobacco. It's got a ton of notes. I can't remember them all, but I love this scent. It is one of the best tobacco scents I've ever smelled. I like my tobacco to be a sweeter tobacco rather than like a more smoky tobacco. I don't love it when tobacco and leather are mixed together. It gets to be too masculine and too much for me. I think that this is marketed more towards men than women, but it's 100% unisex. I don't feel like I'm wearing a man's cologne when I wear this fragrance, and this would smell phenomenal on a man. Just fantastic. In fact, I need to do a video. Maybe I'll do that today. A video of fragrances in my collection that are either men's fragrances or are women's fragrances that I think would smell fantastic on a man. But anyways, yeah, this is super long lasting, very warm, sweet, cozy, perfect for the winter. And that's when I wear it, is in the wintertime. So anyways, that is Kilian Back to Black, or Alexandria Fragrances Fade to Black. Such a good fragrance. And I pulled the clone just because it's a really, really good clone. I've tested them side by side. Can't really tell the difference. Mine is an old bottle. I mean, you can see from the packaging that mine is quite an old bottle, but I'm sure they haven't changed the formulation. And last but not least, we have a Guerlain fragrance. I don't ever wear this fragrance any other time but in the winter, because it is so sweet and intense. And this is Guerlain Mon Exclusif. It's basically Mon Guerlain, but there is a butter, like a butter CO2 note, I think. Like a butter note in it. It still has a lot of the same notes as Mon Guerlain. It's got the lavender, the vanilla, the fern, I believe. But this does have this really beautiful, very decadent smelling butter note in it. It's also got salt, I think, or it could be salted butter. I just know it's got butter and it's got salt in it. And you definitely get both of them, and somehow adding that salt and butter to the Mon Guerlain base is just, it makes it so decadent and rich smelling. It's very, very heavy. It's a big fragrance. Like, it's a big fragrance. It's nuclear. It lasts forever. But if I try to wear this any other time, but in really cold weather, it will make me nauseous because it's a lot. It's a lot. Even Mon Guerlain can make me a little bit nauseous if I wear it in too warm of weather. The only one I can get away with wearing in warm weather is Mon Guerlain Floral, just because it's Mon Guerlain, but it's got this beautiful kind of light sweetness to it that really tames down the vanilla slash lavender slash kind of fougere aspect of Mon Guerlain. Very strange. But anyways, love this. It's such a beautiful, heavy, decadent winter scent. And again, I'm so sad that Guerlain is always discontinuing the best scents. This was such an amazing scent. I don't know why they discontinued it. My Insolence, anything with the word my in it, they discontinue, and it's so sad because they're such amazing scents. So anyways, that is Guerlain Mon Exclusif. And that is going to be it, guys. Those are 10 more winter fragrances that I am super excited to pull out and start wearing this winter. I do hope that you all enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.